What's going on, my good people, man? It's your boy, man, Pimp B, the Cash Guy, man. I'm back, man, with another one. Brat. Bird, whatever the young boys say, I fuck with him, man. Free Pooh Shiesty, man. I don't even know him. But I just love to see young people doing something positive and getting money. I don't care if it's however they're getting it, just as long as they're getting it. You feel me? And much respect to him, and hopefully his situation gets better. Okay, well, like I said, I'm back, man. I'm with another church report, man. I'm coming, and today the player topic of discussion today is none other than Fairfax's own Evan Burns, man. I want to give a shout out to Evan Burns and his people, man, and his family. I think he recently just had a baby boy, man. Congratulations and much respect to you and your situation. And I just hope everything just is good for you in the future. You, my boy. I went to high school with Evan Burns. Now we wasn't the best of friends, but I knew him. He was a good guy, man. He was a star athlete. I believe during the 2002, 2001 years, 2003, during them times, man, this brother was probably like ranked top two in the nation at one point. You know, like it was like him, Amari Stoudemire, and LeBron James. Like during this time period, it was like the most talked about athletes. Was like definitely he was one of them guys. I think he was like, just to give you an idea on how good Evan Burns was during this time period. He was ranked ahead of future Hall of Famers like Chris Bosh, 3-point artist JJ Redick, and a lot of other players, and McDonald All Americans was not in his league. Like the brother was like on a LeBron. He was like LeBron James before LeBron James. Like he prototyped what LeBron James is now. Like I seen it with my own eyes. Like the brother was really good. He had a nice game to him, and he was a high flyer. And I think personally he should have just went pro out of high school, but he ended up uh, attending San Diego State. Now, during his tenure at San Diego State, the brother was balling. I think he won Freshman of the Year in the Mountain West Conference, and like honestly, he was just a good player. But one of his challenges is I would believe was the class grades and the eligibility requirements to keep on playing. You know what I'm saying? Because you could play ball if you just good, but if you don't get no grades, you got to be super good for them to just slide you past. Like, and he was super good, but I guess they didn't want to go that crooked route. I guess, see, I believe Evan was probably like a real dude, like to where they didn't want to help him out, like how they help people out in certain, situations where they basically just give you the ride or give you the lane to do whatever you want as long as you keep balling. Like he was like probably a threat to whoever because he was such a real character guy. Like I knew him personally, and I watched him play, and for years, like for 2 or 3 years in a row, every year Fairfax basketball team is notorious for having like a successful program. Like we had like a historic type of program. A couple of NBA players came and went, maybe like 4, 5, or 6. There's others that should have made it, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about them later. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like me, I think Evan Burns should have went pro straight out of high school if that was even a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But he ended up going to San Diego State, played 1 year, and then ended up cutting ties with that program after 1 year, probably trying to go to the draft or enroll in the draft. And once you enroll in the draft, you can't go back to high school, back to college after that. So he probably was like 1 year here, boom, I'm gonna try to go to the league. And I think it was like 2005. He tried to go pro, but he was unselected. and he ended up playing basketball for the Sioux Falls Skyforce, for a number of years before retiring from basketball altogether. Or he probably still plays in some league or some sort of faction. I'm not aware of it. I haven't been keeping up with his journey. And another athlete I talked about from the Los Angeles city section, another bred athlete from that region named Trevor Ariza. Him and Trevor Ariza used to have mad battles back in the days during the high school days, that when they both attended each, rival high school. And man, the gym was insane. Like, the energy in the gym during them days was like NBA games. Like, I don't know if anything I've ever been to other than NBA and super, like professional games that had the same energy as them type of games back in the day. So, and then I want to go, go into another tip about Evan Burns and some other few stories about Evan Burns, who was like a super athlete, right? I remember going to school. Keep it 100. I probably smoked a blunt or two with this nigga on some real shit, and this is game days type shit. And the nigga still go out there and put up a 40 spicy dinner, nigga, with the size on that bitch, about an 8-piece mashed potato on the side and a couple blocks like biscuits. I'm like, the boy used to go like, he was one of them dudes, right, where if he went to the league, he could have been like smoking blunts every day, just drinking, going to the parties, and then go to the game and drop at least a dub. Like, every day. Like, he could have did this daily. Like, I know Evan Burns that good to where I could say, I seen him smoke a blunt straight up right before a game or something, and then go out there and drop a 40 ball on a nigga. Like, no play. No play. No cap. I ain't trying to stain a nigga record or nothing. But he was a beast. And another story I could say I seen with my own eyes about Evan Burns is he tweaked off and punched a glass window, and at school, right? Like one of the glass doors or something at school, and fucked his hand up. This is game day, mind you, right? So the motherfucker fuck his hand up, wrap his shit up. I think he went out there and still dropped out a 30-piece chicken nugget, spicy, with some sweet and sour sauce on the side. Like, my nigga went hand with one hand. Like, he probably had shot some shit with his left hand, because he broke his right shit, or his shit was injured. I ain't gonna say broke, but it was injured. And you know what? I seen it with my own eyes. My man fucked his hand up, went out there and dropped a 30-piece. Like, it was nothing. 30. I said it. You hear me? I said it. With one hand. With his hand wrapped up in like gauze or something. Your boy's he was a whole savage, flying through the air type shit. Like, he was 6'8". He was 6'8", playing the 2. And he had like a decent jump shot. That shit was probably more than decent. He had a nice little jumper. 6'8". And he'd dunk on your ass. Look, another story I got about Evan Burns. Me sliding through the gym after game or before game, and I'm sliding through the gym hollering at a shorty or something on the court. I just walk on the court, holler at a little shorty, like, how you doing? What your name is? And this nigga come out of nowhere and jump over me, bro. Like, on some, like, you know how they do in a dunk contest. The boy jumped over me in the gym, and I put that on my mama. Like, he'll probably remember it. Hopefully he would. He jumped over me. While I'm talking to shorty, she run out the way like, oh my God. And I look back, this nigga do a whole little, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just done one of them Jordan looking like poses over me. And I'm just like, man, this nigga fucked it up with my little whatever shorty. She embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because I just got jumped over and dunked on, used as a damn slam dunk contest prop. Like, but, Evan Burns, he did that. And this is another video about another Los Angeles County City Section bred athlete, which you might not know him. You might not have heard of Evan Burns. But Evan Burns, on a talent level scale, was probably in the LeBron James range. And it was players on our high school team at Fairfax that played with him that were good as well. And some even made it to the NBA. But Evan Burns was the most standout player of my little time I spent at Fairfax that I seen. And let me remind you, like, we had a number of players come through our program during my little 4 years in high school that were like, super good. You know what I'm saying? So I could say that Evan Burns was probably the best. And these other good players could probably contest to that, or they could probably agree with that and say, yeah, he probably was the truth. But I'm making this video about Mr. Evan Burns, um, former member of the Sioux Falls Sky Force, also played for the San Diego State Aztec basketball program, and he came from before that from the Fairfax basketball program, which was coached by Harvey Catani at the time. Now, if y'all even know about Los Angeles City section basketball, you know Harvey Catani probably the best. He like Phil Jackson. He Phil Jackson basketball in high school in my city, Los Angeles City section. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, fire up the horns and the trumpets, because this gladiator talk, this that good trench report, baby, from your none other than your boy Pimp B, man. You know, I'm giving another video on athlete basketball player Evan Burns, who was a super stud at his time and during the early 2000s, and you might not know about him, but he was a legend. And yeah, that's all I got to say. I appreciate it. Y'all tap in, man. Keep subscribing, share it, man. Make my shit go viral, man, because, this is real trench report shit, man. The real gladiators should love this, man. Holla at me, man. One, church.